And hello everyone, welcome back to your Meteor tutorial. Today we'll be focusing on hiding and showing tasks. We're going to filter them. So let's get started. Make sure that your app is running, and as you can see mine is running here. We can actually just do that. There we go. Nice and close there in the middle, and yeah. So I'm going to just make the terminal go like that so it's not in the way. Then we want to be inside of app.jsx. And we want to import a use state hook in React here. So use state. So use state is what you can use to preserve a state of something when a component reloads. Because when a state of a component changes, the page usually reloads. And you can use the use state hook to remember the state of a specific component. In this case, we want to remember if the user said everything should be hidden or everything should be shown. The use state hook does get cleared out whenever you close the window or close the app. So whenever you reopen the app, the use state hook will kind of refresh to its default value. Unlike use tracker that gets all of its data from the database and just doesn't change. The use state hook will change once you close your tab and reload it. Okay, so now that we have that under hand, we can go here and we can create a state. So this state will be called hide completed, and it will set the hide completed, and it will be by default set to false. So when the user opens the application, they will see all of their tasks, the ones that have been completed and the ones that have yet to be completed, until they say okay, hide it. Cool. Next up, we want to go and let's see here. Yeah, maybe right above this UL here, the tasks, we can create a div with the class name of filter. And as you can see now, we have a div with the class name of filter, and this will be our little filter we can use. We then want a button, and in this button we can just go like this. So if hide completed, so if we should hide a completed, or if it is being hidden, I should rather say, we should say show all, and this will show all, or this will put on the button show all. Else we want to say hide completed. Now currently there's no way we're toggling this to make it true or false. So we need to set it that when we click this button, this will get called and set the state to true. If it's false, you set it to true. If it's true, it should set it to false. Now to do that, we can go here and just say on click. So we can have an on click event. And that on click event can just be an arrow function that says set hide completed. And here we can just say not hide completed. So if hide completed is true, this will make it false. If it's false, it will make it true. Save this, and we should be able to see a button that if we tick it, it should change. And there we go. Can't really see what's happening here, but if we say hide completed, then it says shows all, hide completed. Perfect. So now we need to add the styling. There's not a lot of styling, so if you didn't go and copy all of the styling from the GitHub page, then this will be perfectly fine. I'm going to press Ctrl B to, whoops, wrong window here. Ctrl B to open up our file explorer here, and go to the main.css. Now I have some styling that has been commented out, so if we go here, so we want the filter and filter button. If we uncomment that, then we will have a better looking button. And there we go. That looks much better, and it's much easier to read as well. So it doesn't do much, it just puts a display flex and then centers the button, or the content inside of the filter, and it just changes the background color of the button. So not much is happening there. So currently we also need to hide these when we say hide completed, because currently nothing's happening. So let's close that main.css, and then we can go up to maybe, let's say, above tasks, and we can create a constant hide completed filter, and this will just keep an object, so is checked, and this is basically some MongoDB syntax we're using here. So we're setting the is checked, which we have available inside of the database, because whenever we check this, it says is checked to true. If you uncheck it, it makes it false. And in here, we can just say $NE, which means not equal, and we can say true. So this will basically return if the is checked is not equal to true. Here we will say task collection dot find. We can now, right before these brackets, we can say if hide completed, then hide completed filter, else return an empty pair of brackets. So basically we're saying, okay, if we're hiding the completed, then filter with this. So it's going to filter if the is checked not equal to true. So if the is check is equal to true, it's going to filter them. It's going to remove them. Otherwise, it's going to just leave them there. And in here with this else, it just returns everything. So that is just kind of what this is. You could also just have copy this and paste it here instead of typing this into a variable, but that is up to you. It's optional. So now if we were to save it, we can see if it works once it has refreshed. Hide completed, and there you go. So if I check clean room, it's going to hide it. Check that, cool. If I say show all, we get all of these. And we can uncheck them, and if we say hide completed, they will be here again. So yeah, we have just added a basic filter. And we did it by using a use state and then just adding the filter here. But we are not done yet. What I also want to do is I want to show the user how many tasks they have left. Because sometimes you want to be like, okay, I can do these many tasks today, that's how much time I have. So then you can look at your to-do app and be like, okay, I have 6 tasks left, I have the time to complete them all. Or I have 2 tasks left, let's complete them, or I have 10 tasks, I can't complete them all, I'll have to leave some for tomorrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to count the amount of pending tasks. So maybe right underneath this right here, we can go and say, also I'm going to press Ctrl B just to get rid of that. So here we can say const pending tasks count, and this will be equal to a use tracker. And this use tracker has an arrow function that returns task collection dot find, and now we want to find the hide completed filter, so that right there. So we're going to find by this, so we're just going to filter with it again, and then we're going to say dot count. So we are finding the pending tasks, and we probably also just want to move this to underneath the hide completed filter, just so like that. So currently what we're saying is find all of the pending tasks, so the ones that has not been checked, as here, is checked is not equal to true. Find all of them and count the amount there is. And there you go, you have basically created a pending task count, saying how many there is. Now the next step here is optional, but it is if you want to make the title a bit more dynamic and easier to edit. So we can just go here and say const pending task title. We'll make that tasks. Anyhow, is equal to, and then we can use an Ep6 string syntax here. And now I can put code inside of this. So we can then say show the pending tasks count. So if there is actually a number in here, then we want to, and here we can put in another piece of the script, say, and then in brackets, the pending tasks count, right? And in here we can say else, just give us an empty string. So if there isn't any, just leave this empty. Now here with the to-do app, we can just go here and say pending tasks, title. Save that, and we should see here how many tasks are pending, and it says 5. 1, 2, 3, let's just have to complete it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and it's right. If we were to check them all, as you can see, it goes down, and once we check the last one, there's nothing left. Personally, I do prefer that we do have something like a 0, for example. So you can go like this and make it 0 if you wanted to. And you can see now we have a 0. So they know they have 0 left. This is optional. It depends on how you prefer to create your app. And yeah, that is all I wanted to do for today. In the next video, we will be working with user accounts, so we can add users and we can split the tasks between the users. So user X will not have all of the same tasks user Y will have, because currently if any user goes to the app, they can see all of the tasks. If that task is not yours, someone else you can still see it. And we only want it to be that if you have a task, then only you can see your tasks. Nobody else should be able to see your tasks, and you shouldn't be able to see anyone else's tasks. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again in the next tutorial.